Big if true. According to TMZ, Michael Avenatti has been arrested for felony domestic violence. Again, big if true. Welcome back. You're with Mike Cernovich of Mike Cernovich. Cernovich. Let's go look at this. This is as the kids say, this is a pretty big deal. And, we're just going to here to talk about it, discuss the allegations. Again, these are only allegations. People are presumed innocent in a court of law, of course, and we are, of course, relying on TMZ's original reporting. I myself have not been in touch with law enforcement sources. So, Michael Avenatti arrested for felony domestic violence, according to TMZ. Now, this sounds like real domestic violence and not, I don't want to ever minimize abuse, for sure. I definitely don't ever want to minimize any kind of abuse. People who have done criminal courts, though, they do know that there's often shoving matches or whatever, and then somebody will say, oh, it's domestic violence or yelling or something. Again, it's all bad. Don't be abusive to each other. Be good to each other. This sounds quite severe, though. This doesn't sound like a scuffle, right? Because, I've had women hit me before, and I've actually been beaten up by probably 3 women, but domestic abuse victim I am. Just whatever, Thankfully, I'm a big guy, but this is, real stuff. Our law enforcement sources, according to this is TMZ, say Avenatti was arrested Wednesday after his estranged wife filed a felony domestic violence report. We're told her face was swollen and bruised. So this is, real stuff here. This isn't just your typical, this isn't just your typical family dispute. And so what I'll say about this is that this kind of allegation is not the kind of thing TMZ would run with if it were baseless. This is like lawsuit central. If this story weren't, this is definitely going through legal review, because this, this would be millions of dollars to TMZ. But I'll say that I personally am not surprised. I'm going to read your comments now. If you're on Periscope or Facebook or everything, remember when Michael Avenatti came out, he became like a thing, and I told you that I guarantee you he'll be arrested for domestic violence? Raise your hand. Give me a wave. If you're on, if you don't remember this, that's fine. But if you're on Periscope, give me a wave if you remember when I said that Michael Avenatti would eventually be arrested for domestic violence. And just, give me a wave if you do. And give me a, with my mouth, Persian rice. Sorry. I was eating lunch, my first meal of the day. I do intermittent fasting. So I haven't eaten since until 3 p.m. So I have this really wonderful tahdig. Tahdig is a Persian rice, crispy rice. And then there's also these, they're like beef kebab or something like that. Here, let me see if I can show you. Okay, it doesn't really look good from where I'm at. Here you go. But if you go to my Twitter, you can see it. So I'm eating with my mouth, talking with my mouth full, which is rude. So I'm not surprised by these allegations against Avenatti. I always knew this would happen. Now, how did I know it would happen? How does Mike Cernovich know everything and no one else does? Well, the answer is that if you're a lady, I'm going to give you a pro tip about men, okay? I'm going to give you a pro tip about men. Never trust a man who is overly well-groomed, because that man is a narcissist, and narcissists act out when they feel threats and they have rage. It's called narcissistic rage. It's a real psychological term. So if you look at, Avenatti, he's always super duper groomed. Like, people go, oh, Cernovich, your hair's a little messy, tousled. Yeah, I'm a real man. I'm tousled, right? I'm not here, plucking my eyebrows, every night. And you should never trust a man who is more well-groomed, right? That level of grooming is a sign of pathological narcissism. So I knew that he was always going to get caught up in some kind of domestic thing, because all you got to do is take one look at the guy. Yeah, Shauna's going to come out, and Shauna's not happy with my hair right now. I'm just glad I have so much hair. I'm 41 Saturday, I think. My birthday is hold on, I'll give you the exact date. My birthday is this Saturday. I'll be 41 years old, And then I always round up to the next year. So you'll hear me say I'm 42. That way it doesn't feel like I'm getting older. That might not make sense to you, but it makes sense to me. So legally I'll be 41 in November, but I'll begin to refer to myself as 42 because then when the birthday hits, I don't feel like I'm getting older. Again, doesn't have to make sense to you. It makes sense to me. So me, I'm a 42-year-old man with this glorious, luxurious hair. Never had a hair implant. I'm just, glad it's all real too. I mean, look at that. Whew. Look at that. Wow. That is a good-looking man, ruggedly handsome. So the Avenatti stuff, I was never, ever, ever going to be surprised about. We just knew it. He tries too hard, right? He's a try-hard, angry, toxic, masculine man. He's not a fully integrated man. By the way, if you're on, is this your first stream or your second stream? If it's your first stream, type 1. If you've watched a Cernovich stream before, hit 2. So type the number 1 if you've watched a stream live with Cernovich before, and press 2. Press 1 if you've never watched it, press 2 if you have, right? Are you a first timer? Press 1. If you've been here before, press 2. And if you're a first timer, you'll understand the carnage and chaos and the absurdity that is a Cernovich Periscope. It's just where, we don't take ourselves too seriously. That's the whole thing. We're not like Michael Avenatti. We don't take everything that seriously. Okay, ABC News is now reporting that Michael Avenatti has been arrested. So this is good to go now. Everybody's Michael Avenatti arrested for domestic violence. So the question now, of course, is will CNN disavow Avenatti? CNN was their little golden boy. And by the way, this is all I warned people about this. I warned them about Antifa. I warned them about Avenatti. I was like, look, you got to be careful. These are dangerous. They always try to be like, oh, Cernovich is so unhinged. And Cernovich is this. Cernovich lives a monastic life. I hang out with my books, my wife, and my daughter. I don't even like to leave, right? So people are always like, oh, Cernovich is such a crazy. No. I read to my daughter every night before. This is what a man does. At least you have children. I read to my daughter every night before bed. And I spend time with my family, and I hang out. I'm going to go have cigars with a guy friend of mine tonight. Not like a dating boyfriend, but a man date with a buddy of mine tonight. So I live a very monastic, insular lifestyle. It's these people like Avenatti you got to watch out for. These people who they run for the spotlight. When have you ever watched Mike Cernovich run for the spotlight? Mike Cernovich is not interested in the spotlight. Mike Cernovich is just interested in doing reporting, hanging out with my family, that kind of stuff. So here, let's go ahead and CNN, they endorse. Hold on. Oh, no, we don't want to press that. CNN, this is CNN. There's Don Lemon. This is CNN. Thrilled to have met Michael Avenatti at the Sag Harbor soiree. Soiree means an evening party. It's a very fancy word. I actually remember this word because I was a child. You know how I learned soiree? You know how I know this word? I was watching a movie as a child, and one of the partygoers was trying to get into this group, and he claimed that he was Mensa. And he said, I think we'll have time. I think I'd like to attend an evening soiree. And then the other person knew that person wasn't high IQ because it was a redundancy. True story. That's how I learned that word. And that's, by the way, why you got to watch out what your kids watch. That's a positive example of me building my vocabulary through film, but degeneracy and unhinged behavior could also equally have been put in my mind. So you don't call it an evening soiree. You call it a soiree, not an evening soiree, because that would be a redundancy. And you clearly wouldn't be in Mensa if you... By the way, I did pass the Mensa test, for those wondering. I'm a pretty sharp guy. I'm a pretty sharp guy. So creepy porn, yeah. So this is a bad day for the old Michael Avenatti. Avenatti, of course, has me blocked, so I'm blocked by Michael Avenatti. But yeah, I've always tell you guys got to follow this guy. YOSSIGESTETNER. That's quite a name. YOSSIGESTETNER. Great follow. Plays a clean game. I think he's actually doesn't even like Trump. And Um, yeah, I don't even think this is Leia's a good guy too, man. These are liberals, by the way. I read a lot of lefty journalists. Why? Because I respect people who. This guy's an animal rights activist, actually, so he's a vegan or a vegetarian or something. So I follow all these people, and you gotta, you gotta keep it clean. You gotta follow a lot of people, man. I think that's the big difference between me and other people, other than, of course, my IQ, my looks, my hair, my robustness, is that I keep I keep an open mind to people. I like to be. Oh shoot, we have super chats. Yeah, I have. By the way, I have a lawsuit update too. Cernovich is just a busy guy. It's hard to keep up with everything that Cernovich is doing. So I'm gonna send a. Ooh, this is good. If you know, you know. That's what I was eating earlier. Somebody goes, "What's in your mouth?" How good does this look? By the way, I'm reading your comments right now. If you're on YouTube, thank you for the super chats on YouTube. I forgot to mention they are enabled. I heart Cryptoverse. We love crypto. Awaken Mind also. Thank you. I'm going to read your comments now. If you're on Facebook, hit the like button and hit the share button. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button and subscribe button. Also turn on notifications. And if you're on Periscope, share. How good does this look? This is a beef recipe with turmeric, caramelized onions. It's a traditional Persian dish. Do we have any? Got to go now. Question sources. Have a good day. Do we have any Persians in the place? This is another. Sort of unknown fact about me is I'm a biracial family. The media, they're just so dishonest. They just don't want to tell the truth. So yeah, Avenatti can definitely be disbarred. Wow, this looks really good. This is a great picture, by the way. This is a really good picture. How appetizing does that look? So yeah, that is. Sorry if you're a vegan. I respect the heck out of vegans. I respect the heck out of vegetarians. I tried veganism and it was just didn't work, man. If I could be vegan though, I absolutely would be. Veganism is the way we treat animals in factory farming is holding back humanity's rise to higher levels of consciousness. The rice is burnt. It's called the crispy rice. It's a traditional Persian dish called tadig. But so that's that. I took another really good picture of my books. Oh yeah. Okay, what was I getting at? So I have a lawsuit update. A lot of you don't know this, but I am involved in litigation, joined by some strange bedfellows. Goes to show you that when you stand up for principles, wow, I tweet a lot. I forget a lot of times how often I tweet, but we're in a lawsuit against a pedophile to get court records, and oral argument has now been set. So you can go to cernovich.com/Epstein, CERNOVICH/Epstein. And I don't ask for support much because I do, I'm doing fine. But for this one, we blew the budget. Like, it's supposed to cost 10 grand. And we filed this lawsuit in December 2017. So, no, I think we filed it. When did we file it? I think 2 years ago. Anyway, it was supposed to be 10 grand. It's become a bit of a monolith. So if you can kick in $5, then you can go to my Twitter, click on that link. You can go to cernovich.com/EPSTEIN. And we now have oral arguments set in this lawsuit. The vast majority of cases, or if you're on Google, hit me a super chat. It's all going to legal fees. This is a lot more expensive than it was supposed to be. But the Reporters Committee for the Freedom of the Press filed a brief supporting Cernovich. You can find the brief. So I am in a brief joined by the Associated Press, the New York Daily News. This is all real stuff, man. This is the kind of stuff that I do that the media will never report. They'll never report this. And the Miami Herald is also now in the lawsuit. So I posted that image here. United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. And you can see right there, the Miami Herald is involved in the lawsuit. So yeah, this is real stuff, man. This is a real lawsuit, real litigation. And you can support that at cernovich.com. And I topped it too. You can also go to the top of the, top of my timeline and also find it there. So anyway, the Michael Avenatti thing is absolutely not a surprise because never trust. Here, I'm gonna hold on tight to this. Cernovich explains why he was able to predict when Michael Avenatti first appeared these charges. So again, that's Avenatti. Is that how you spell it? This guy's such a loser. I don't even know how to spell this guy's name. Hold on a second. Michael Avenatti. But anyway, I'm going to just tell you how I knew he was a bad person. Number of things. One is he's too overly groomed. You know, you can't try. I'm sorry, not to be a misandrist. I don't want to be a bigot here, and I don't want to do hate speech against men. But you can't trust a guy who's too like perfectly groomed. Like, oh, I have a little piece of lint here. Now, I'm not saying look like me, like a freaking lumberjack wild man in the wilderness. I'm not saying that. There's a happy medium. And you just take a look at the guy. You can tell he's got those eyes, right? Those crazy eyes. Michael Avenatti, the former attorney, has been arrested for domestic violence, police told ABC. So, I mean, this is as confirmed as it can be. So I also knew he was too much of a virtue signaler, okay? You cannot trust male feminists ever because they're overcompensating. You just can't trust people who pretend they don't have any flaws. Also, he was a con artist. He owed people all this money and, everything like that. Didn't pay it. He cheated people out of money. It's just when you look, like every con man, there's like a pattern, right? We're all human. We all make a mistake, or two or three. We all make mistakes. But with Avenatti, he followed the pattern of a con man. It's like, well, he bought Seattle coffee shop. Well, he stole the payroll tax money. Didn't give the people the money. Got evicted from his law firm. Got sued by his law firm for not paying bills. Tax liens. You just name it. Anywhere the guy looks, you're like, there's been a pattern. It's not like, oh, we all make a mistake. You get into debt. Things happen. We understand. But it isn't a one-off. It's just a pattern. And people who look and act like him you just can't trust them. You absolutely cannot trust them. So I told you to never trust this guy. Absolutely told you, you can't trust him. I always knew he was gonna get arrested, and it's just the way of the world. And by the way, there's a lesson here for everyone. This is who CNN promoted. Alec Baldwin, right? CNN, this is who they promote. These people have no principles. They're not good people. They if you want to attack Trump, they'll put anybody on the air, right? It doesn't matter. If you want to attack Trump, they'll put anybody on the air. That doesn't matter. They don't care. Just go on and attack Trump. So this is a CNN creation, right? This is a CNN creation, and this is what they support. I mean, let's just be honest. This is just what CNN is about, right? Michael Avenatti. CNN endorses Michael Avenatti. Right? Just told y'all. Remember, so now we gotta, remember when CNN, remember who made Michael Avenatti famous? Who made Michael Avenatti famous? Remember what they support. CNN must disavow immediately. So these are just, true things. Remember when Michael Avenatti was going to get Trump impeached? That was last week. By the way, that's kind of a tacky sort of hack, lazy sort of joke. People go, oh, at least it's Friday. At least it's Friday. That's kind of what that is. Just a little hack. Remember when Avenatti was going to get Trump impeached? That was last week. Whatever. Give me a break, people. I had a cold. for the past. That's why my hair is disheveled. I slept for like 15 hours. Got a bunch of sleep in, and then I've been doing my taxes and Bitcoin transactions and filed a restraining order against a stalker. This was me Friday. Friday night, I filed a criminal complaint against a stalker. So I should tweet that out. Friday night, I filed a criminal complaint against my stalker. Like Michael Avenatti, this unhinged psychopath also has the full support of far left-wing media people. Which, by the way, is true. There are multiple articles. This unhinged stalker who claims to have hidden cameras installed in my house also has the full support of far left-wing media people. True story. No, it's actually, as bizarre as it is to claim, I did actually get an email from someone who claims he has hidden camera footage inside my house. That's the kind of stuff that I deal with on a, on a regular. Here, I'll send it to the top of the timeline. People, my life is so just utterly bizarre that when I tell the truth, people don't even believe it. So here's an email. This has been going on for 2 years, too, is why I went to the police. Weird Mike, a tipster just sent me multiple hidden camera videos and even a few now deleted live streams that credibly appear to show you viciously spanking your child. This is insanely effed up. Before I call the police, I just wanted to hear it from you. So a number of things here is wrong with this. One is that we're peaceful parents, so we don't even spank our child. So the whole thing is just made up. And so we practice what's known as it's a methodology, peaceful parenting. You reason, even with the toddler, even with the small child, you reason with them. So when I, potty training my daughter, I walk her into the bathroom and I go, big potty, little potty, right? I give her a choice. She can use the adult potty with the seat overlay on top, or she can use her own little potty. And sometimes she's like, oh, little potty. And so we don't even coerce our child into the potty. We're like, you have a choice. You can use the one of choice. So we don't peaceful parent. We don't even spank. And we don't obviously do any kind of stuff. But, we have a hidden cameras in your house. So that's why I went to the police about it. And I sent that to a Huffington Post reporter. Oh, I don't want to. Yeah, and he goes, that's satire. So a Huffington Post reporter claimed that's satire. So does this email look like satire to you? I'll just say, just yes or no. Just yes or no here. Here's an email I received from someone who has stalked my family, made fake videos of my wife, fake videos of my daughter. An anonymous tipster just sent me multiple hidden camera videos and even a few live streams that credibly appear to show you viciously spanking your child. This is insanely effed up. Before I call the police, I want to hear from you. So yes or no, does that read like satire to you? Does that read like satire? Right? LOL. So I went to the police on Friday and we filed a police report. And a restraining order is being served. So this is all, it's all being handled and whatnot. But how is this satire? Right. So according to the Huffington Post, this is satire. This is a true email. First off, what was sent to you is satire. It's not a threat to SWAT. When you try to misconstrue something like that as a threat, you run the risk of being owned again. My advice is always to relax and not take it so seriously. So this email, this is the Huffington Post email. This email was sent from a Huffington Post person and from a Huffington Post email. So this is a 100% authentic email. And so that's how they treat it. That's how they treat it. It's just satire. Don't take it so seriously. So if someone emails you and claims they have hidden cameras in your house and they're making fake videos of you, LOL, lighten up. Well, actually, no, we're not lighting up because this is unhinged, psychotic behavior that absolutely is criminal. Oh, and by the way, California law is actually quite strict about this, which is nice. Under California law, if you tell somebody to quit emailing you because you feel as if it's a threat, then they actually have to stop emailing you. So California law is actually quite clear, right? So California law is great. It's actually quite clear, which is good. So I'd emailed this person multiple times about the threats and yada yada yada. So there's a lot of things going on, but the broader point is here is that the media supports Michael Avenatti. They support people filing false criminal complaints, filing swatting threats. That's what they support. This is the far left-wing media is all about it. They don't care about the truth. So if you email people and you're on the far left and you say we have hidden cameras in your house, you beat your kids, we're calling the police on you. Hey, lighten up, LOL. No, it isn't satire, especially when the person has been instructed under California law and under Pennsylvania law to not contact you. So, but the good news for that is I actually understand the law, which is that when somebody sends you an email claiming they have hidden cameras in your house and they're going to SWAT you, that's a criminal threat, and you can file a criminal complaint and you can file a cyberstalking complaint on that. But the media, they laugh, LOL, it's just so funny, lighten up. And that really is the problem. Michael Avenatti, I always told you, was going to commit a crime like this. You just look at him. My advice to you is if you can't take one look at Michael Avenatti and just say, okay, this guy's a criminal, this guy's a sociopath, narcissist, dark triad type, then you're going to get in a lot of trouble. One look at this guy, your limbic system kicks in a void. But the problem with narcissism is people are actually attracted to narcissists like Avenatti, and that's why they make him famous. So for me, the broader point all this is that the media, they made him, they created him, they made him this figure. They're the ones who should disavow. I mean, could you imagine? God help me if I even ever post a bad joke on Twitter. They'll be like, "Oh, you guys got to disavow Cernovich," and I was just a journalist, right? Oh, you can't believe it, blah blah blah. Well, if that's the way it is, then the mainstream media who created, I don't want to laugh at this. This is domestic violence. The new and improved Mike Cernovich does not laugh at domestic violence. So I'm not going to laugh at this meme. I disavow this meme. It's not a laugh. I mean, I actually kind of do. Domestic violence isn't a laughing matter at all. So I'm not even like being cute there. Like, I really don't think it's funny. I don't even think it's something to make light of. They're men who beat their wives. You know what they usually do later? They usually shoot them, right? Violence against women definitely happens. Violence against men happens too. So the domestic violence truth that a lot of people don't want to talk about is 50-50. But men like Avenatti, they snap and they lose it, and they're more likely to make a disproportionate amount of domestic violence. So me, for example, 3 different women I've dated and had domestic relations with have hit me, but it's like kind of like, I hit myself beating my chest in some goofball, oh, I'm a gorilla thing. But the point is it's technically domestic violence, and I could have got a restraining order. But with people like Avenatti, they're very dangerous, and that's why it's not really funny. Cosmically, it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, cosmically, it's just interesting in terms of this is what I predicted and this is what I said. But the broader lesson, and that's too why the Cernovich show is a little different than most other people's, is because I want you to, Mark, we should get Mark on the podcast if he ever wants to do it. We have Mark here, great lawyer that I've studied from and learned from immensely. He's on our Periscope chat. So the broader point is we're looking for big first principles here, not just reporting the news. The traditional newscaster is just going to say, Michael Avenatti, this is what happened. But I told you right when Avenatti appeared, I said, I guarantee he'll have a domestic violence situation. I tweeted that out. I said, I guarantee that he will have a domestic violence situation. So we're trying to teach you here the big principles so that when stuff like this happens, you're like, oh yeah, I mean, Cernovich knew, I knew it all the time. You have to learn how to spot. Threats, demonic threats, and other things. One is instinct. Trust your judgment. Lesson 1, trust your judgment. If you have a bad feeling about somebody, leave. Now, people will go, well, that's a bad thing because I had a bad judgment about this one person and that person turned out to be great. This is true. But rules of life are not about 100%. Rules of life are about playing odds in your favor. So if you get a bad vibe on someone, disengage that moment. Sure, 1 out of 10 times, 2 out of 10 times, you're going to miss out on a gem, right? You will. But 8 out of 10 times, you've avoided a major hazard. So for me, the biggest mistake I made in 2015 was I let someone in my life that just creeped me out. And I was like, I can't have this person in my life. And then it ended up costing me, hundreds of hours and undoing the mess this person caused. I should have just said, bad vibe, get out of here. So that's number one rule. Avenatti, if he doesn't give you a bad vibe, then you have a problem. You need to, meditate or focus or learn how to read energy. So rule one, bad vibe, duck away. Don't listen to that nonsense. Well, you'll miss a gem now and then. Sure you will, but you'll avoid a knife in your back 8 out of 10 times. Play the odds. Bad vibes, go away. Work until you find somebody with good vibes. Rule one. Rule two, and I don't mean to be sexist, so please don't flag me for hate speech, YouTube. I don't want to say hate speech. So I would just say never trust anyone who overly grooms themselves. I don't want to make it about men because that could be hate speech against men, and then I'll have all the men's rights activists yelling at me. You can't say anything anymore. But the level of grooming Avenatti took is not healthy. Is that guy ever reading books? What is he doing? Plucking his eyebrows all? Like, don't get me wrong. I use, skincare lines, and I like to look cute. So I'm not saying don't be cute. I'm not saying don't be pretty. But if you're spending 2 hours a day, moving, I have a little gray, spot in your, don't trust people like that. Because they're narcissists, and a narcissist has step 3, learn to recognize narcissistic rage. Big, big, big important skill. Narcissistic rage is triggered when the person's view of themselves conflicts with the way you're treating them. So if you're Michael Avenatti, and remember too, he has a history of scumbaggery and crimes of white collar variety. So maybe there's a racial component too, as the law is too easy on white collar criminals like Avenatti. He should have been criminally charged for this stuff with Seattle's Best Coffee and, the payroll taxes and all that stuff. So there is a racial thing too. So maybe point 4 is white privilege. There is something to it. Why is Avenatti walking free when he committed, all these other white collar crimes? It's something to ask. If you're a black teenager and you steal something from a store, criminal charges. But Michael Avenatti accused of stealing millions from people making minimum wage. It's a civil matter. Oh, that's just a civil matter. LOL. Who cares? So there's a lot of it. A lot of it going on too. But primarily, somebody said they have a bad feeling about me. Well, then you should definitely not read. So I will block you. If you do not get a good vibe from me, my advice would be to not read me or watch me, because if I don't spiritually enrich you and I don't give you a good feeling, if you don't leave my streams feeling like, that was a good talk, I'm glad we did that. That was good. I feel better after that. If you don't feel that way about our conversations, I want you to leave, because I want everybody to walk away thinking, that was an interesting point of view. I'd never really thought about that. I feel good now. I feel more equipped to deal with the world. That's my mission. And if you say, oh, this is a ranting lunatic with a wrinkly shirt and messy hair, and I don't like that, then I would just like you to just not. I want you to go find the right vibrations and the right energy that, that you deem appropriate. So let me read. So did I cover all my points? I think I did. I think I covered all the main points. So I'm going to go ahead and read some of your comments. Hold on, let me check up on the old news. Oh yeah, they're trying to, Will Chamberlain's on this, but they're trying to, smear Jack again. They're such liars, man. It really is disgusting how they attack people. They're just really nasty people. They will, it's kind of a funny thing. They always try to smear people, but here he is, Michael Avenatti, #1 trending topic in the world. But see that guy. Look at that guy. You should not trust somebody who looks like that. Okay, look at every little hair is perfect. Probably has the salonist come in and shave his head every day. perfect little makeup, all the Botox. Yeah, by the way, I'm pro Botox. Don't get me wrong. So again, we're talking about extremes. I have used Botox before. That's why I don't have any wrinkles here. When I was in my early 30s, I used what's called preventative Botox. So if you use Botox before you have the wrinkles never form. It's preventative. So I haven't had to use it in like 5 years. So don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-Botox. I've used Botox. I'm pro-plastic surgery. It's just a degree. It's the degree that you take it. Same thing with like being physically fit. Look good, go to the gym, feel good about yourself. But if you're like oiling up in front of a mirror for 3 hours a day, or like you're doing a Christian Bale, American Psycho kind of thing, avoid those kind of people. It's a little extreme here, is all I'm saying. So BuzzFeed News confirms it. So yeah, this is, good as gold. Now, his defense is that she hit him first. So that's dumb. That's dumb. That's definitely not smart. So Avenatti, he definitely lacks the gorilla mindset, which is about emotional control. It is not about being a big gorilla. It's about controlling the big gorilla inside you. That's what the gorilla mindset's about. Is you don't go around, acting the way Michael Avenatti behaves. That is most certainly for sure. That is definitely most certainly for sure. Don't do that. He is not. But yeah, here we go. Thrilled to have met Michael Avenatti. We're going to make sure we get that to the top of the timeline here. Everybody make sure you retweet that. This is LOL. They're just all friends. They don't care. They don't, they're all creepy people, by the way. They're real, maybe I've overstated things from time to time, but they're creepy people. It's just the reality here. All right. One last time. We do have a lawsuit. This thing got expensive fast. I budgeted 10 grand and it is way over that. We're in a lawsuit joined by the Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press. And we're going to get oral argument in February. So you can read it right here. To the allowed for the expeditious resolution of both appeals. Argument in both cases is scheduled for Wednesday, February 6, 2019. That's in the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. So, we're doing real stuff, people. We're working on it, man. I ain't perfect. I never claimed to be perfect. But you can see official court documents here. You see Michael Cernovich, DBA Cernovich Media, involved in precedent-setting litigation. You can support that. Go to cernovich.com, Epstein, Epstein, cernovich.com/Epstein, and kick in like $5, man. I don't ask for much, really. I don't even plug my books hardly, or, I don't plug much, but because I do pretty, I had a pretty good life. But this is litigation that's in the public interest. It's expensive. It was even done at a reduced rate. Legal fees would actually be like over $50,000 if it were at full freight. So it's a good thing. People say, well, we want journalism. We want this. We want the truth. All right, kick in $5. Kick in a latte. You can see it. You can read my lawsuit right here. All the documents are, of course, posted because I believe in full disclosure. Cernovich Media may intervene. So you can read that lawsuit. The Miami Herald joined the lawsuit saying that Cernovich was right. The Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press has filed the lawsuit. So if you go to cernovich.com/Epstein, then you can, go there. Kick in $5. Thanks for watching. I'm Mike Cernovich. CER. Hold on, we lost our connection. CERNOVICHEPSTEIN. Check it out. And if you're on Facebook, be sure to hit the like button and the share button. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button and hit the notification. And, okay, YouTube, yeah. Hold on, if I'm on YouTube, cernovich.com/Epstein, I'll copy and paste the link for all y'all. Yeah, I don't need millions of dollars, people. Or, I'm not asking for millions. Not asking for millions here, people. All right, thanks for watching. Cernovich.com, CERNOVICH.